Hi again everyone, it's Tim here, and in today's video we're going to unbox the X-Key Air. This is a Bluetooth MIDI keyboard, and at the end of the video I'm going to tell all you teachers and students out there whether this is something that you could teach or practice with, or whether this is just something that can be used for music productions with digital audio workstations. Well, let's unbox it and check it out. So this has been given to us by X-Key Air. And let's open it up and check it out. Ooh, look at that. Is pretty cool looking device. I can already tell that the keys look about the real size, so full size keys. There's quite a bit of a gap between each of them, I've got to say. But let's get in there and explore it a little bit more. There's something in this box. I'm guessing it's the cable. Yep. All right, so here it is. The X-Key Air. This is the 37 key model, so they've also got a shorter one. It's called the 25. They're identical except just a little bit shorter. Now, it's important to know that this keyboard has no internal sounds. It's got no speakers as well. So you can't just put this on the bench and start playing out loud. It's not one of those kinds of keyboards. Before I unpack that, let's just have a look what else is in the box. We've got a quick start guide in multiple languages and some recommended applications. Let's open this up. Now, one of the first things I notice is that it has very shiny keys. They're kind of, I mean, they feel like a very kind of cheap keyboard to play on. I do know that these are velocity sensitive keys, and they also have some sense of aftertouch as well, so we'll test all that out when we connect it via Bluetooth. I also note that there is a difference in height between the black, I don't know if you can see that, the black and white keys, which is useful and not always the case with these portable ones. The other thing I noticed is it feels really solid. It feels like an iPad or an Apple device. And I think that's because they have used brushed aluminium, so it's got some weight to it. It's not flimsy at all feeling in the construction. So it's about 600 millimeters long, and it actually doesn't have any ports. No, it does. It's got one USB. It's a small USB connection, not USB-C. So it does have one plug. That is absolutely it. The manufacturers of this do have another model called just the X-Key, which is a wired USB one. This is Bluetooth. So we should be able to get this hopefully connected to the iPad via Bluetooth pretty simply. All right, so let's turn it on and see if we can get it connected to GarageBand on the iPad. It does have an on-off switch right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So let me press that down. And I can now see it's flashing red and blue right here. Normally blue flashing tends to mean that something's wanting to connect to Bluetooth. So let's turn on the iPad and see if we can get this to connect. So we'll go into our settings. Let's check Bluetooth here and see how hard or easy this is to connect. So I'm having a bit of trouble connecting this to the iPad. So I'm actually going to restart the iPad and then we'll try it again. All right, so I haven't had any luck restarting the iPad. I've tried connecting it to my Mac as well. Haven't had any luck there. So what I'm going to do is just jump into GarageBand and see if we can do it through the advanced settings in here. So I'm just going to click on the settings and then advanced and Bluetooth MIDI devices. There's the X-Key Air. So I'm going to click on that and it's connected. Easy. So there you go. You don't need to go via the settings page in your device in order for it to come up. So there you go. We can now hear All right, so let's talk about how it actually feels to play. This isn't a keyboard that you could easily practice and perform on. I mean, I could get used to it kind of, but it certainly doesn't feel anything like a piano. The closest thing I could compare it to would be something like MPK Mini, a regular MIDI keyboard that you would use with a digital audio workstation. And I think this is where the X-Key really is marketed at. It's marketed at people who are using digital audio workstations like Logic Pro, Cubase, FL Studio, those kinds of things, in order to input music into it. It does have a few buttons on the side here. We've got octave button. So you could play the full range of a keyboard even though you only have 3 octaves in front of you. There's a modulation button. Not sure what that does. We've got pitch bend and down, and a sustain button. So you have to hold that in order for the sustain notes to actually work. So again, not really a performance instrument, but this has been designed to replace something like this, which is actually relatively heavy. It's quite fat as well. This is really thin. You could slip it easily into a backpack or something like that and do whatever digital production it is that you're wanting to do. With all the information, the sounds and everything that you're doing in your actual digital audio workstation, because this again is purely a controller. As far as it being Bluetooth, I can't discern any noticeable lag between the sound that I'm hearing and the key presses that I'm making. It's meant to have aftertouch. I can't discern any kind of aftertouch changing the sound. As you can hear, it's also very clicky on the ears, so you'd probably be wanting to be using headphones, which you would be if you were using it as a workstation controller. Okay, so in summary, is this the kind of instrument that you would take and use as a teaching instrument if you're a traveling teacher or someone who's learning to play piano? I would say very unlikely. Certainly not the kind of instrument that I would recommend anyone practices with as a student or gets for their child to play as a beginner. Definitely not. It's not like a piano at all to play. Where this really does excel is for those of you who are needing a keyboard that's portable and Bluetooth connected that you're going to use with a digital audio workstation. And maybe it could be useful for people who are in live performance situations where maybe the keyboard and the device you're connecting it to aren't that connected, or you want to be able to move around and actually kind of play while you're walking around a stage or whatever it is. In that case, this would be fantastic. It looks good, it feels great, it's a nice solid unit, but again, the keys aren't, they are the right kind of size, but they don't feel anything like it feels to play a piano. So I would stick to this for your composition and digital audio work on another device. I hope that was useful. If you're interested in checking out this instrument, then you can find the links in our description below. If you've tried this and you've got some other opinions about it or anything that I've missed, then make sure that you let us know down below too. Hit the subscribe icon up the top, and I will see you next time.